Us. To our top story now, the Libyan ship that's carrying aid for Gaza has arrived at the Egyptian port of El Arish. The Al Mathea, renamed Hope for the voyage, was trying to break the naval blockade of Gaza when it was shadowed by the Israeli Navy and changed its course for Egypt. Paula Sleer is following developments from the Israeli port of Ashdod.
A publicity stunt, a provocation, or as organizers claim, an effort merely to get much-needed supplies into Gaza. In place were all the ingredients for an international showdown. A Libyan ship setting sail for Gaza, its organizers vowing to break the Israeli blockade, and the memory of 9 Turkish citizens killed in a similar attempt still fresh in everyone's mind. But in the end, the captain gave in to Israel's order and without much fuss docked the ship in Egypt. For the Israelis, it's a victory. They say the fact that the United States and European Union convinced the ship to change its course legitimizes their position. But activists disagree. They say the Libyan effort puts the story of Gaza back in the headlines. Hamas accuses Israel of piracy and insists its refusal to allow aid ships to reach Gaza is in breach of international law.
The convoys that travel and still travel must continue because we are now facing a battle to break the blockade imposed on Gaza. And this battle is related to the land of Palestine and Jerusalem and to the blockade of Jerusalem as well.
But the jury's still out on whether the restrictions Israel has in place are legal or not.
You can apply a maritime blockade if there is an armed conflict, and according to various judgments of the Supreme Court of Israel, it is an armed conflict that we have with the Hamas, and you can apply it to any shore which is either occupied or under the control of the other party.
Last month, Israel announced it was easing its blockade on Gaza, but underground tunnels are still how most goods find their way inside. Among the goods smuggled in each month are hundreds of motorcycles, many of them used by youngsters desperate for any kind of work.
There's no work here. Young people can get a job. Fuel is also very expensive because of the blockade, which is why most people don't use taxis or even their own cars. I pay young people to use these bikes to pick up all kinds of goods and deliver them to people's homes.
Israel suffered unprecedented diplomatic fallout after 9 Turkish citizens were killed on board an aid ship in May. But the country still insists its position is legitimate. This YouTube posting, which has been viewed by nearly 500,000 people, illustrates what most Israelis believe. World leaders often act as puppets for the Arab world's legitimization of terror.
Terror, terror, that's my cup of tea. Terror gains us love and sympathy.
We don't upload these songs in order to laugh at those who have been killed, and we're not all against the humanitarian aid going to Gaza. The state of Israel agrees to pass the goods on, but we're against the provocation. We're against mercenaries coming here.
But organizers of the Libyan ship insist their attempt was not a provocation. Either way, the Middle East breathed a sigh of relief that events ended so calmly. Paula Sleer, RT, Ashdod.